Hello, and welcome to my final words of wisdom presentation. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So for my first slide, I have the very first question, which is, why did you decide to pursue college at this time, and why attend NVC? So I decided to pursue college at this time because really my mom wanted me to. I personally wanted to take a year off and take a little break from school for a year, but my mom wanted me to go back to school. So I chose to go back to school. I'm actually glad that I decided to attend NVC though, because the things I have learned have been very helpful. And I'm really glad I got to learn those things. And I decided to attend NVC because I didn't plan to go to a university, and I decided to go to a community college, and NVC was the best option for community college for right now. And my older brother goes there currently, and my older sister graduated there about a year or two ago, and I heard good things about NVC, so I figured why not go to where my brother and sister went, because it seemed to be pretty good for them, and it's been pretty good for me too. So the next slide is, what were your impressions about college before you started, and what are they now? So my first impressions about college before I started was that it would be different from high school. And I honestly thought college would be easier than high school was. But now that I am finishing my first semester of college, I know my first impressions were wrong, and college is much harder than high school was. But it is indeed different from high school. But it isn't easier for sure. So moving on to the next slide, what are two of your strengths as a student right now? So one strength I have as I finish the semester is writing things down. Whether it's my work schedule or assignments and things for school, I write it down, and writing down the important things is very helpful and helps remind me that I have things to do for each day. And another strength I have is similar to the first one. It's checking the calendars and planners and seeing what things I have to get done for each day. And checking the calendars and planners and schedules is just as important as writing things down, and also helps me remember what I need to do for each day, which I was not in the habit of doing back in high school, but now that I'm in college, I know it's definitely more helpful for me to write everything down and check everything. Next slide. So based on your experience in college so far, what is one area you would like to improve upon for the spring term? So one area I would like to improve upon is submitting assignments before they are due and not the day they are due, so that way there's less stress on my plate. I want to work on starting and finishing the assignments when they are sent out. That way I can get them done and out of the way, so I don't have to stress about it the day they are due, which is a bad habit I have gotten into this semester. So I want to work on that and get everything done the day they are assigned and sent out. So for the next slide, it says, describe 2 points from each of our books that have made you think or that resonate with you. These 2 points are from Blueprint, and they both have the descriptions. The first one is schedule time for studying, because I'm very bad at time management and I want to work on that, and that one is important and stuck with me. And the next one is complete all assigned reading at the time it is assigned, which is also important because I don't do that and I want to do that now. So moving on to the next slide, it's the same as the previous one, except this one is for mastery of self, and I chose 2 quotes that have stuck with me ever since I first read them. The first one says, the next time you are in a situation and you begin to feel angry, defensive, guilty, sad, or anything similar arising, the first step is to spot the emotion. I really like that quote, and like I said, it's stuck with me since I first read it. And the next one is, you are not your thoughts are simply narrators. And these quotes both have just stuck with me, and I love them both. So moving on to the next 2 slides, it's 2 short-term goals that I have. The first short-term goal that I have for the spring term is to fix my sleep schedule, so that way I'm well rested each day and ready to tackle my schoolwork and make sure everything is good and done properly. Another short-term goal that I have for the spring term is to work on my time management, because my time management is not very good, and I want to work on fixing it so that way I can try and have less stress on my plate and can feel better about schoolwork and life. Moving on to the final 2 slides, it's share 2 specific words of wisdom. And for the first words of wisdom I have for new college students is to write everything down and check planners and calendars every day. Writing everything down and checking every day helps remind you what needs to be done and when everything is due for school and work and just life in general. Writing everything down really helps. So for the second piece of advice/word of wisdom that I have for new college students is to set a schedule, because setting a schedule is super helpful, especially when it comes to balancing school, work, and personal life. Having a schedule set helps so you can get things done and still find the time for other things like having fun or spending time with friends and family. Schedule also helps for getting a decent amount of sleep each night so you're not exhausted the next day when you have more to get done. Being well rested surely helps get things done and assures that it is done right. That is all for my final presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.